Welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. Ukraine's Ministry of Economic Development and Trade has presented a national report called The Aims of Stable Development in Ukraine. The document outlines 17 main goals for the country. To have a more detailed review of the report, we're joined in the studio today by Mykhailo Titarchuk. He's the Deputy Minister of Ukraine's Economic Development and Trade. Hello, and thank you for coming.
Hello, good afternoon.
So first of all, for our audience, could you please outline the main peculiarities of the report?
Yeah, with pleasure. Thank you very much for the invitation. Actually, it calls Sustainable Development Goals. It includes approximate, not exact, it's 17 goals. So what is SDG? SDG is a vision for all countries in the world, how to end poverty, how to protect the planet, and the most important is how to ensure prosperity for all people in the world.
And how Ukraine is going to do that?
So Ukraine, let's go back to the history. So our country was a principal country who creates the United Nations. So based on that, it was a recommendations which was approved on General Assembly regarding Sustainable Development Goals, and we accepted. And for a time being, we spent approximately 1.5 years to prepare a proper doc, which looks like that.
So this is the document?
Yeah, this is a document.
Okay.
It was approved under official level, especially was included many experts. It was meetings approximately in 10 main cities in Ukraine, all ministers, all civil society. So we included most part of our citizens in Ukraine to discuss each goal and to identify which goal should be in this book. And
in priority.
In priority. And frankly, all of them are priority. 17 goals was from the beginning, and we keep 17 goals inside.
So all of the goals stayed in the document?
Yeah, but compared to other countries, some of the countries, for example, they reduce. We're not reduced. So we think each goal has a priority status. You can't just divide one goal from another. All of them are different, and all of them are important. So this is Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, so 2030.
So 2030.
Of course, it was done by a national report, which was in the government, in Ukrainian government, and how to implement, yeah? Because when you have goals,
of course,
the principal question, how to implement. Because we don't want to do just a white or green book and put on a shelf. We'd like to implement it. And Ukraine, based on report from United Nations, they said you're quite successful, first of all, in preparation, in edification, and the way how you're going to implement.
What has been already done to start implementing the report?
Okay, the government of Ukraine, first in the history, accepted and approved Action Plan 2020 for the next 3 years.
Yes.
So based on that plan, we have also goals and priorities for each ministry. As I'm from Ministry of Economic Development and Trade, of course, we also have some goals which correspond to our action plan. So it means it's like a roadmap where you move and where you implement. So we already start implementation. For example, we have goal number 8, which is decent work and economic growth. And goal number 9, which links to our ministry, it's industry, innovations, and infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure, it links to Ministry of Infrastructure, but innovations and industry links to Ministry of Economy.
Speaking of economy, one of the members of the working group that has been creating this document said that it is really important to create innovative and digital economy. Could you dwell on that a little bit more?
Actually, based on my responsibility, I'm in charge of 5 departments. One of them is digital economy innovations.
Okay, what is this?
So based on that, it's a future. It's
really?
A future. It's a main principle in which our government accepted, and we made a roadmap. Now we're waiting a special doc, also roadmap for digital economy. So it's going to be done by this year, also for the next 3 years.
But
so
what is digital
economy? It's a synchronization. It's, for example, like, imagine every village will have internet. But it's not just a question about internet, because we understand that cashless
economy.
Yeah, it's very important. But how you can do cashless in the village where you don't have internet? So it's a digitalization all sectors of our life. It's like example Estonia, where you can use a telephone number and you can vote on election.
Right.
No, it's perfect. And then you can change your vote 10 times, even after elections. It's just to predict, you know, some manipulation. So based on innovations, what is important? Because all sectors of our economy, industry, it has to be linked to innovation. And Ukraine, it's one of the top countries. We have approximately 100,000 companies. No, sorry, 100,000 IT guys, but it's approximately 5,000 companies.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. And one of the best IT guys is there from Ukraine. So Ukrainians has a engineering, some sort of brain
capacity.
Yeah,
right?
capacity. So what is important for these goals as well, I want to add, we created for each goal a special group. So it was experts, academics, it was guys from ministers. So we're trying to put inside, like in one room, different opinions, and then to find the way which is appropriate for our country, which is reliable and which is realistic for implementation.
And are those groups going to monitor the actual implementation of the goals?
What is important? When you create, you have to find the way how you're going to control and monitor. So without control, it doesn't work, unfortunately. So we see three ways how to control, how to monitor. It's going to be annual monitoring. It's going to be once per 5th year on global way. And also we're thinking about this thought. It means based on a goal. We can take, for example, one goal which links to our minister and go through all the sectors. The principal mechanism, for sure, is going to be electronical monitoring, electronical. We're still in process of finding the right way how we're going to prepare the database and how it's going to be looking. But we know it's 100%. It has to be clear, understandable, and transparent. So let's say everybody who was involved in that goals, like an expert, he can see online and see, okay,
what is happening?
Where is the government? Because actually, what we do with our action plan, we also have a monitoring system. So probably we will use a similar system. You don't need to create something new.
Right, it's going to be like a branch.
Yeah,
right?
there is a platform, yeah, why not?
Are Ukraine's international partners going to be involved in monitoring the implementation of the goals?
Of course, international partners, especially United Nations, they assisted a lot. So we're interested when we do monitoring, so we're trying to show to our donors and to technical support which is provided by different countries, especially by European Union, that we're transparent, so they can check where we are. And it's easy to them to identify what kind of technical support we need. So if there is a goal, let's say innovation, and we need, let's say, some legislative work, they can support us with some consultants, advisors, and we can do it faster. And plus, with the respective advisors. Because sometimes it's very important how the law is describing the needs of nowadays.
Overall, you said that the report on sustainable development goals has been created till the year 2030. So overall, by the year 2030, what's going to change in Ukraine?
I'm not a magician. I can't see what's going to be 2030, but the goal is not to wait 2030. We're interested to implement as soon as possible, because for a time being what we see, it's very realistic, and it's society needs it.
It's what society needs.
Yeah, protect the planet. There is one goal, peace. We need peace. We need to protect the planet. So when you have peace, you can walk easily.
Well, hopefully there is peace in Ukraine and peace on the whole planet. Thank you so much for this informative conversation and for finding time to come and join us in the studio.
Thank you.
That was Mykhailo Titarchuk, who is the Deputy Minister of Ukraine's Economic Development and Trade. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.